Welcome, Scorpio. It is Sachi, and we are going to do some guided healing where we take a look at what's going on in your healing journey, figure out what is keeping you stuck, how to get you unstuck, and then some general advice on healing in regards to the situation. So please do remember that the top 2 videos with the most likes get a bonus reading, as well as whoever is number 1 gets the bonus for free. Scorpio, you have been number 1 or number 2, I think, for like 6 consecutive months here. This is the first time in quite a while that you're not in the top 2. So, you know, let me know what's going on, Scorpio. Was the last reading just a dud? Or, yeah, let me know, because you guys are in 3rd to last. So that was a little bit surprising for me. But anyway, let's just see what's going on regardless, right? This is what came out in the cleansing ceremony. We had the Hierophant in reverse and Justice upright. So this is telling me that you have decided to stop doing things the traditional way, stop doing things by the book, and instead doing what is in alignment with you and what seems more balanced. The Hierophant traditionally denotes, it's like you do things by the book or you get the whip, right? And that's the way that masculine and feminine energy is being brought into union. This can often represent some sort of hierarchical structure that really has no face. You know, it's like government structures, religious structures, right? All these sorts of rules. It's like, whose rule is this? It's like, it's the institution's rules and you have to listen, sort of thing. And it feels like you are rejecting that and instead finding this balance of yin and yang within oneself. This is Persephone in this deck specifically, as you can see by the pomegranate that she has eaten with her little skeleton hand. But it feels like a balance of the light and the shadow. So you may be working on, you know, bringing your own feminine masculine energy into union rather than doing it sort of the traditional way or the way that, you know, some sort of authority wants you to do it. Justice can also indicate some sort of legal situation going on. I wasn't necessarily feeling that too much, but for some of you, there could be some legality thing going on. We did have Ampharos coming out using Dazzle Blast. So it's interesting, when this card flew out, I yawned so long and loud. And so it was giving me this energy of feeling like you are finally prioritizing your rest in a lot of ways, and just sort of like I'm hearing like letting the water fall off the duck's back. So it's like knowing when not to stress certain things, and definitely relaxing more into light energy. This is the light Pokemon. And with Dazzle Blast, it feels like something has really you know, dazzled you. Something has really sort of caught your attention, and it feels like relaxing and sort of respecting the present moment as much as possible is really helping. And then we had Trainer Dream Ball in reverse. So Trainer indicates the other or some other person's energy. And with Dream Ball in reverse, it feels like, you know, it's like Ampharos is here chilling, relaxing, right? Not dreaming necessarily. And it feels like someone may have just been kind of like a conception of your imagination, or, you know, you were dreaming of a certain person, or maybe someone was only visiting you in the astrals and now they've kind of boop gone. And it feels like it could be a like part of you embracing your own light that has stopped them from being able to sort of infiltrate, if that makes sense. So anyway, well, like I said, oh, what just wanted to come out and, oh, wow. Trainer Single Strike Scroll of the Fanged Dragon. So some of you might be working with dragon spirit here. There definitely is a lot of powerful energy there. And dragons usually come out when there's a lot of density to be cleared. So, I hope you all are well. As I mentioned, we are going to take a look at what's going on in your healing journey, what's keeping you stuck, how to get you unstuck, and some general advice on healing. So let's see. Okay, current reality, 9 of Wands in reverse. Okay, and what else? I saw the Hanged Man. So it feels like you could have been in a situation, where you understood that something, that you couldn't continue going on the same way that you were, so with a different perspective. With the Nine of Wands in reverse, it feels like you're kind of getting out of a paranoid situation. You're out of being overprotective about something, and now you are okay with talking about it or speaking. Again, there's this energy of just like not being overly protective and paranoid. And with the Page of Swords, I always say, like, swings his sword around, doesn't really care who he hurts when he swings it, doesn't really care who he like cuts with it. And so there can be this energy of kind of being a little bit sloppy with your throat chakra, if that makes sense. Like no filter type energy. And there's a difference between being authentic and having no filter. Let's see, what's the light energy? Wow, coming out stuck is Hoopa using Scoundrel Guard and Super Psy Bolt. So I do feel, again, it's like you're out of this paranoia energy, but you still are guarded against scoundrels. You still are wary of people who might be sort of deceiving you in some sort of way. This is dark energy and it's in the light. So it seems like you are totally aware of this shadow aspect, of this dark aspect. You have brought it to light. So it seems to be current shadow work that you are doing. And with Super Psy Bolt, there is something like Super Psy Bolt. I always take Psy Bolt as something that's like a psychic energy. So it's like there's a super strength bolt of psychic energy going to your third eye from, you know, that's part of this shadow aspect, which means that it's part of your mental programming, because it's part of your mental space. Hoopa is the portal Pokemon. And so there is this aspect of, you know, portal energy, so things that can come and go. And Hoopa is known as the Jinn Pokemon, which are kind of like genies. They're kind of tricksters. They can grant some wishes, but it's just something to be very careful about interdimensional creatures. You always want to kind of be skeptical, and if you are working with interdimensional creatures, you absolutely want to know who they are, where they came from, and what they want, right? Before you make any deals. It says, in its true form, it possesses a huge amount of power. Legends of its avarice tell how it once carried off an entire castle to gain the treasure hidden within. Yeah, so there definitely is a lot of, it kind of feels like you are finding the treasure within, and it's done through the, perhaps even the portal of your own shadow in a way, where you're recognizing that this deep sort of shadow work of understanding why you felt the need to be so overprotective and paranoid about certain things. You know that there is a reward to yield. Let's see, what's the shadow here? Because there is something to be said about when it's in its true form, it has so much power. And I feel like you're on that conquest to be in that true form of full power. So let's see what wanted to go under Hoopa. We have training, shopping center. So it's like, yeah, he got the mall and he got the castle. So trainer indicates somebody else's energy, right? And shopping center can mean someone who really likes to shop, who could be very materialistic or something like that. And again, there could be some sort of portal energy that is related to some sort of shopping area as it relates to perhaps this paranoia that you are releasing. And then we have Aaron using Rigidify. So this is a steel type, which relates to protecting one's aura, protecting one's energetic boundaries. And it's talking about how you're rigidifying your protection mechanisms, basically. It's the iron armor Pokemon. So yes, you still have this guard up against scoundrels and stuff, right? But you're not, like, look at this lady, right? She looks scared out of her mind. She has, you know, spell work, and the thing about the protection aspect of what's going on here is that she's also trapped within her own protection mechanism. And that's where the paranoia energy is when your protection stuff actually traps you from doing and doing what you want and going where you want. That's when you know it's a problem, right? When it starts like influencing you and trapping yourself. But now you're out here with this big sword, right? It's like, you know what? I'm going to go out. I have this thing with me if I need to use it. And so, yeah, it just feels like you're really sort of cleaning up the way that you protect yourself and really releasing paranoia. It says it usually lives deep in the mountains. However, hunger may drive it to eat railroad tracks and cars. So it's talking about living deep in the mountains, but sometimes going to where there are transportation sort of stuff. So there can be this aspect of, you know, shopping. There's cars and trucks involved. So I do feel like some of these things could have to do with sort of big purchases. All right, let's see what is keeping you stuck on your healing journey. Ooh, I just smelled something like, it was like a phantom smell. It came and went. So I would definitely be clearing your space, especially with Hoopa there. We have the 9 of Cups in reverse, the 5 of Pentacles, yeah. 6 of Wands and the 3 of Swords. Yeah, you definitely have a djinn around you that you need to get out of your house. That's literally the genie card, as I mentioned, in reverse with the 5 of Pentacles. So, yeah. Be very careful, again, unless you know exactly what it is, what it wants, what the this, that, and the other, right? Be very, very careful. But yeah, anyway, what's keeping you stuck is because some sort of wish fulfillment isn't occurring, you feel like the wish is being completely rejected. And 6 of Wands in reverse can indicate that certain people aren't listening to you or agreeing with you about it, and it's bringing you some heartbreak, some heartache, and maybe even some heartburn because you can't stomach the situation. Let's see what's the light energy here. We have Rockruff using corner. So yeah, you feel cornered in some sort of way. This is fighting energy because, again, you're fighting energy. You want other people to agree with you or to be on board or support you, but they're not. So it's breaking your heart here. We have, it's considered to be a good Pokemon for beginners because of its friendliness, but its disposition grows rougher as it grows up. And it's the puppy Pokemon. So it's like, here's the puppy, here's the dog, right? And so there is this aspect of, you know, like, oh, it's good for beginners, but, you know, as time progresses, things get a little bit rougher, right? It's rough. It gets harder. It gets tougher. And it feels like what's keeping you stuck is thinking perhaps, oh, I should just be able to wish something to happen, you know, or wanting people to agree with you, you know, not understanding that things are going to get rougher. People are going to disagree with you, and that's sort of part of it. We have, going right to Hoopa and Training Shopping Center, we have Petlo coming out stuck using Blot, which I always take, this is the bulb too, and Blot I always take as like an ink blot test where, you know, it's like, you know, stamps of ink and what do you see in the ink, right? So it's really based on perception. And so there's a lot of perception-based energy around this Hoopa portal stuff and this person that is related to the shopping center here. It says, although the leaves on its head are bitter enough to cause dizziness, they provide relief from weariness, even more so when boiled. So there can be this energy that's keeping you stuck is like, you know, your perception, basically, the way that you are perceiving things, especially the way your heart chakra is perceiving things. Because if you have, you know, broken heart, something is, you know, like a sword is in your heart, that is going to really mess up your perspective, especially if your heart is burning. And so, you know, it also talks about different like herbages and teas and stuff. So you may want to be careful of the types of herbs that you are intaking. Be careful of, you know, anything that you may be, you know, like teas or even different substances that you may be smoking or something like that. You want to be very, very careful because it is part of what's keeping you stuck. Let's see what's the shadow here. Golurk using Reinforced Punch. So yeah, there's this lurking type of energy here with Reinforced Punch. This is the automation Pokemon. And so there can be this energy of just sort of going through the motions of feeling automated, sort of input-output energy. And with Reinforced Punch, this is a psychic type. So again, it's like the psychic energy, the third eye energy, which is your mental space, it's being reinforced by your thoughts, basically. This fighting energy of feeling cornered and so on. It says, there's a theory that inside Golurk is a perpetual motion machine that produces limitless energy, but this belief hasn't been proven. So there is this aspect of energy and utilizing it and where it comes from. Is it unlimited or whatever? So if you are trying to, you yourself, be a perpetual motion machine, you know that that is just not a viable thing. That's not the way you're supposed to be. And there can be this sort of want of like, oh, all I have to do this, and then I'll have unlimited energy to do this. It's really not that simple. It's not like you can make that sort of wish. It definitely feels like there's a lot of misconceptions is what I want to say. A lot of misconceptions about basically portal, hoopah, wishes, that sort of thing. So we are definitely going to take a deeper look at how to get you unstuck, and then some general advice on healing in this situation. Let's see what Mother Nature would like to say here. We have Eagle, communion. Yeah, so Eagle is all about seeing things from a higher perspective. I'm sure as a Scorpio, you know about the 7 emanations of Scorpio, right? It starts with spider spirit, scorpion spirit, lizard spirit, snake spirit, wolf spirit, eagle spirit, and phoenix spirit. Those are the 7 emanations of Scorpio. And the eagle spirit represents seeing things from a higher perspective, being able to have that sort of vantage point that allows one to have a sort of spiritual perspective. And this is the communion between, you know, animal totem and the native populations of the Americas, where that is how the divine would speak to them, is through the communion of all living things, right? And eagle spirit helps us get to that point. And also eagle energy is very investigative. It gets to the truth, right? There's a reason why they call it eagle eye. That's why Scorpio gets that sort of detective kind of stereotype to them, and like a BS detector, a lie detector, because it's all about the eagle. So again, like I was saying, there is some misconceptions here that I'm feeling, and eagle spirit is here to help elevate you. I do have an article if you're an eagle member, or a scorpion member or an eagle member. You will be able to check out that article. It's called All About Ophiuchus, and we go through the 7 emanations of Scorpio and why Ophiuchus is tied into it, which I forgot to mention at the beginning. If you want to try a 30-day free trial of an eagle membership on my website, that is open now, but it will be closing soon in a few weeks, once we hit April, because just because. So if you're interested in trying a free 30-day trial, you will get the access to this extended and all the extendeds for this month and all past months as well, and all future months, of course. And you also will have access to the musings page I was just talking about. And then we have childhood innocence. Yeah, so there is also this aspect of needing to get in touch with your inner child and going back to the innocence of bliss, right? Before you were taught to fear, before you were taught to be scared, before the way that wishes work got misconstrued is what I'm getting. So that will be very, very interesting to... All right, yeah, I saw Take Your Power Back. Let's see what Archangel would like to bring us into the extended. Going right to Golurk, we have chakra clearing. Yeah, definitely a chakra clearing, especially in your third eye, because the way it's being reinforced with this perpetual motion automation energy really needs to be cleared here. This is Archangel Metatron saying, call upon me to clear and open your chakras using sacred geometric shapes. So there is something very common called Metatron's cube, and that's a shape that you can use to sort of clear your chakras, or any sort of sacred geometric shape. You can do any of them. So you might want to create one of your own, or look up different sacred geometric shapes and work on chakra clearing, especially your third eye. So as I mentioned, we are going to head into the extend. Okay, I'm going to do one more. Sorry, you guys. Before we go through, let's get a message from your inner child here. Okay, that came quick. From the inner child deck. We have the fiery and the dream. Yeah, remember how he's had the dream ball energy? And it was somebody else's energy, right? And I feel like someone that would invade your astral space was really very controlling. It's like they were taking the fire out of you. And so your inner child is talking about the dream that it has, the dream that you are meant to embody and envision and anchor as your own sort of piece of heaven on earth, and the fire that has gone out towards it. So sort of how to get that fire back. And again, it doesn't have to do with just going through the motions or having unlimited energy or doing. There's a lot more that goes into it. And with that Ampharos that we saw, it feels like a big key of it can be this resting energy. Okay. All right. As I mentioned in the extended, we're going to see how to get you out of the situation, then some general advice on healing in this situation. And also, like I said, there's a 30-day free subscription if you're interested in trying. The link is in the description box below, and I hope to see you there.